Before I go out and get all greasy for about the second week, I want to show you a few things to make this video. Now, I'm the type of guy that before I take my 4-pound hammer out and just have some fun, I think you guys that have been in this situation know what I'm talking about. But before I do, I back off. I guess I got to go do something else, watch YouTube videos or something. I just can't pick up that 4-pound hammer and do, work out my frustration. Let me show it that way. But anyway, let me show you some schematics. So you got to get, not all books will have these. You got to buy, different. There's all the manuals you can find for a particular vehicle, different brands, different year stuff. But anyway, let me show you some of the schematics. Now it's kind of hard to see, but if you look at, you got to know how to read these. Unless you know how to read them, they're just meaningless. Now, if you look, I can't show you, but if you look, the big rectangular thing is the ECM, or some people, it's electronic control module, or the brain. That's some vehicles will have multiple ECMs that control different stuff, like one for the engine, one for the transmission, and they wire together. They talk to each other. They're depending upon the vehicle, the year, they vary a little bit. The newer ones are have a lot more complicated dashboard controls and stuff. But anyway, if you're troubleshooting one of these, you pull the connector off, and it'll be marked. A lot like on mine. There's 3 different wires that are ground. You take an ohm meter. I'm gonna show you a meter here in a second. You take an ohm meter. You check those to make sure you unplug the ECM. You check with an ohm meter. Actually 2 ground, and make sure you're getting the ground. And then there's 2 power supplies. There's one wire for GM. There's an orange wire that's hot constantly. Now make sure you got that 12 volts constant. And there's another one that's switched with ignition. Check that. And now for what I've done, I had a friend of mine ground each particular terminal. Let's say the particular device, the throttle position sensor, the map sensor, both have injectors. I had him ground all of those terminals, and checked it at the harness for the ECM, and made sure you checked it with an ohm meter, and made sure I had that circuit. That's something. Now, I think a guy that knows what he's doing can go in and make a couple of videos showing exactly how you troubleshoot a vehicle like that. Because the ones I've watched from other guys, these guys have no idea. They're young guys and have no idea how to troubleshoot automotive electrical problems. Now let me show you. Let me start with this meter. But I think I'll just show you this meter. Now, this is my backup meter. This is one I thought I lost, and a friend of mine actually found it. Where I'd kept it. It got pushed back, but this one is it's a volt ohm. It's an AC amp meter. You just stick it along a wire for AC. But this also is a DC amp meter. This will measure DC. I think when I first bought it, just checked it to make sure it worked, and I think it did. But anyway, now let me get to ohms. Now, if you look where I got my thumb, you can't see it, but there's that little horseshoe thing. That's ohms. Ohms is a unit of electrical resistance. There's a meter's got electronic functions. You got to read the instructions on there and get it over to ohms, and that's how you check continuity. Now, if something reads 0 ohms, that means it's a dead short, like the grounds. That's what you want. Now, let's say if it's a circuit to, the throttle position sensor, and it's supposed to be a dead short, and it's reading 20 ohms or something. I don't know what it would be. That means there's something. It's not making good contact. There's something, or maybe you're on the wrong terminal, and it's feeding through through the map sensor, because that is a variable resistor. That's how those work. It's a potentiometer that varies the resistance. There's about 3 different sensors in it that work that way. There's there's 2 different temperature sensors, or depending upon the vehicle, the different temperature sensors that will vary the resistance with temperature. But like the throttle position sensor, will be at a different resistance. When it's saying it idle, and then when it's saying wide open. But so you need to go through. If you believe you have electrical problems, you need to go through and do the troubleshooting. Now there's, if you can see here, there's a V symbol. I can't. Yeah, right here. There's a V symbol. The V symbol is a straight line, and then there's a wavy line. Now the wavy line is AC. That's like if you're going to check your house current, like 60 hertz, or if you're in Europe, it's 50 hertz. If you're checking an AC line, alternating current, you want that little wavy line. If you're checking direct current, you want that flat line. And you got this particular meter, you got to turn it there, and then you got to go through a function switch on this meter. Now, different meters are different. You got to kind of, if you don't know how to use a meter, you got to go through the functions on a meter, get it set to the right function, whether it's volts, ohms, or amps, or whatever. You got to know how to use that for your particular meter because they're all a little bit different. And for me, I don't need to read instructions on one of these. I can just read the display and it'll tell me what it's set for. That's what you want to look for. But anyway, you need to get you. Let me show you this other meter. This is one I bought off Amazon. I bought that one, the one I just showed you off Amazon about a year ago. This one I bought off Amazon about 2 weeks ago. I just wanted another backup meter. I like to have 2 or 3 meters in my pickup, so I've got backup meters in case one craps out. I don't want to be working on an energized circuit. Let's say I'm working on a 480 volt air conditioning unit or a 480 volt irrigation pump or something. I haven't done one of those in years, but you don't want to be working with 480 volts, especially like a grounded B phase 480 volt system. You got one like the neutral, one phase as a ground potential, and the other two are at a full 480 to ground. You don't want to be working on a circuit like that, and believing it's not energized when it is. That stuff can kill you. 480 volt stuff. It doesn't take very many mistakes to. All it takes is one stupid mistake with any high voltage circuit to kill you. So you want to have a good meter if you're working in a high voltage stuff. 12 volts DC. Yeah, you can grab a hold of 12 volts DC. You never feel it. But anyway, you want to take a meter when you're checking an automotive circuit. If the manual says this is constant 12 volts, you want to make sure you got constant 12 volts there. If it says it switched through the ignition, you want to make sure you can turn the key on and see if you got power there. I said you want to have a good circuit. Let me take you back to the circuit again. Now, I know the particular one for my vehicle. I know that one pretty well because I spent the past 4 days playing with this circuit. I almost dream of this. They're nightmares when I have the dreams like that. Nah, not really. So I'm about to set fire to this, but I need to keep pushing on. I'm going to go out and swap the distributor, and maybe that'll work. I don't expect it to, but yeah, it's the last. I've tried everything else. Hey, I'm gonna make that. I'm gonna make several videos showing how to troubleshoot stuff because, like I said, the guys I've seen, showing troubleshooting automotive electrical problems, those guys don't know what the hell they're doing. Maybe there's good videos out there, but I haven't seen them. They wouldn't tell me anything because I've been doing that since I was a kid. But that's not got me anywhere in my pickup because I don't know. It's like that horse that doesn't want to go to the trough to drink. I can't get the injector to fire. Something weird's in there. Okay, bye. Or for Mr. Carlton's lab. Bye for now.